From Soviet roots to AIQ, redefining resilience and neurophysiology in business. I'm Dr. Frank Douglas, the host of the Antifragility Reframing podcast, where struggles become strength and stress fuels growth. In our conversation today, antifragility reframing is explored through the lens of understanding individual neurophysiology and organizational resilience. Our guest, Dr. Marina Morgan, shares how recognizing and respecting differences in how people learn and adapt can lead to more efficient teams and leadership. She describes her AIQ framework as a tool to measure and support adaptability, especially during the integration of new technologies. Dr. Morgan is an expert in artificial intelligence and the founder of the Morgan Impact. Welcome, Marina. It's good to have you here.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here as well.
Well, the last time we talked, I was really quite impressed by the challenges you had growing up and the things that you have done. I'm particularly interested in the things you do in AIQ, for example. But it would be nice for our audience to get an idea of how your journey began. So can you share with us the beginning of your journey?
Absolutely, Frank. Before we dive into it, I just would like to say thank you for what you're doing. And since we had our previous conversation, I really thought a lot about your concept, like try walking in my shoes. And I really think a little bit, is it possible just to try to imagine what this meant to be me, for example? Or can I really understand how my clients or my partners, reflect it and feel the reality? So, and this is very, very insightful point of view, in my opinion. And thank you for that. Thank you for bringing it to the masses. I mean, this approach and this vision.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
So, probably my story will help those who will listen us to imagine in my shoes. I was born in Soviet Union in a family of very, very ambitious Soviet people. And my mom born me when she was 18 years old. So you will not surprise that mostly my grandparents took care about me because she was at university at the time. And actually, I think you can imagine what's meant to become a mom at 18 years old. There is a phrase, something like, the first child is the last toy. So it was something like that. And my grandparents, they were, as I mentioned, really they're ambitious people. I mean, if they will live in our modern reality, they will be something like C-level managers of the big companies. My grandfather created, he was a team member of the Korolov. This is the team who created the first rocket that brought humanity to the space. And my grandfather, he was an engineer in the team who developed the rocket engine. So space and all this part of our reality was a big important value of our family. And at the same time, my grandfather, he was from very, very tiny, not tiny, sorry, small village in Ukraine. And when I'm thinking about it, like this little boy from very, very poor, small village was able to not only get a degree in engineering science, but also to develop such an impressive career. It's really inspiring me. And at the same time, my grandmom, she was a doctor, and she founded the medical university in those cities. There, they lived together with my grandfather, and she was a very, very well-known dentist in our area. And from the one hand, I think that this combination of the engineering system and kind of humanity that you feel when you're a doctor, that's what shaped me. Because at the end of the day, the thing that I'm doing in my life, in my career, for my clients, this is the combination of the kind of passion of technologies, modern reality, innovation, but at the same time, orientation for humanity, this is my main value, and I'm just trying to balance in this for all of my life and for all of my career. I think, as you can guess, when you're growing up with such a successful and at the same time ambitious people, high level of expectation, this is kind of your norma. And, there is not a good mark in my family besides A mark for anything. And even if you have B or even A with minus, that's mean that bad and you have the failure. And of course, it helped me in my career. I mean, because I always really choose some very ambitious and challenging goals for myself. But the price for this, the price existed. So that's what I can say.
When you say, did you say the price or the
Yeah,
price?
the
Price.
price.
So
Yeah.
what was the price you paid for being ambitious, always getting an A, to be able to fulfill the expectations of your parents and grandparents, particularly?
I really, it's a really good question because not so long time ago, I really understood that this is still kind of my pattern. I just would like to prove for my grandparents that that I do something really good. And when I'm unable to achieve some goals that I created for myself and developed and have kind of huge projects or huge successfulness, it's very, very frustrating for me. So about the price, of course, it's health, and I already, probably fixed some things that I had, but I had some problems with my health, with my spine, some other aspects. Also, I think it's kind of personal life because it wasn't my priority until probably. I really can say that this is my main priority. My career, the project in that I can, do something, it always was my priority. And for example, when I have everything in my life, like I'm happy in my personal life, I have friends, I have a space for my hobbies, but if at this time I don't have some impressive career achievements, I can't be happy and I can't feel kind of satisfaction of my life.
And she also mentioned your interest on the human side of things. And we're hearing that now, the importance not only to be successful, but to pay attention to the human side of things. So share with us how you share that with your clients who are driven entrepreneurs.
I have a degree in organizational psychology. And during my career, I had the periods and I also worked in huge corporations. It was a period that I was really interested in it. It was kind of curiosity, how it is when you're working in a huge structure with 300,000 people, for example. And I was head of training and development department, and my responsibility was to develop skills of the employees that helps organization to achieve the goals and to realize the strategy. So the main thing that we need to understand as a business owners, for example, or entrepreneurs, or even employees, that all of us has pretty different brain, and there is no kind of approach like he just a bad person or he don't have the skills. The correct answer here is this is the specific of his or her brain and his or her nervous system. People are really very different, and to expect that the same approach for all the people give the same results, this is not successful strategy. And when you're, for example, planning kind of development program for your employees, you should have a deep picture of the landscape of neurophysiology of your employees. I mean, you shouldn't know the diagnosis or you shouldn't know some very, very deep thing, but you need to understand how these people learn, what is their ability for adaptation and for neuroplasticity. Are they have the same pace of the education or ability to develop new skills? And you need to design your development program or your strategy with this understanding, and to really probably choose the strategy based on this. Because, for example, if most of entrepreneurs and business owners, they have really specific brain, and right now we have enough resources and data that really give us this understanding of what's the difference. Because, for example, most of entrepreneurs, they have very high level of cognitive flexibility, it is much more easy for them to learn new things, to orient in new circumstances or new field of science or information or whatever it is. And we, like a business owner, expecting the same pace from our employers, but this is impossible because they have different brain.
Using AIQ or AIQ in your company. So talk a little bit about that and how you apply it.
Absolutely. So the first thing, all of my employers, they know some neurophysiological hygiene because I'm sharing it with them. And I'm trying to organize the process in our company based on the neurophysiological understanding. For example, most of the people are unable to digest more than 10% of new information and new activities. And for example, it's impossible to pivot organization and to expect that all your team will do absolutely new thing 100% of their time. And I mean, and entrepreneurs, they have more flexibility in this. And for example, if you would like to integrate some new things, some innovation, open new departments, develop new products, and you need to integrate it very slowly. I know that people hate it. I know that we would like to move with a very fast pace. But when I would like to bring some new in my organization, I am planning the activities of my team based on this understanding, 10% of new things at a time. So this
So
is something.
what product does your company produce?
I have a global company, the Morgan Impact, and this is kind of consulting company. We are partnering with the clients to develop strategies of resilience in their organization. Also, we provide services like executive coaching and facilitation of strategic session or some other type of session. And the new direction that I developed since this spring, I believe, this is AIQ. It's a platform or product that measuring readiness of employees for the integration with artificial intelligence tools through the human perspective. And we are measuring adaptability skills like literacy and some other things that really influence for the resultativeness of our integration.
Summarize for me in one or two sentences what you would say is the message you would like to leave to the audience with respect to how
Okay.
they could improve their well-being and become more resilient, become more anti-fragile.
Accept who you are, understand who you are deeply for the neurophysiological aspect as well. Don't try to be somebody else. Develop your own skills, know your advantages, and remember that all of us are pretty different. And when you will deeply understand what is your difference, what makes you special, it will be much easier for you to accept the special aspects of your employers, of your clients, of your co-founders, of your friends, family. So start with yourself, respect your individuality, take care about your body, and look at the reality and all of the new things. There's the kids' curiosity. So that's what I
Thank
can
you
say.
very much.